To him and found nobody. Get it? They found nobody. That's why I go so yellow, ward and Kodo. I'm fighting for my country. That's the kingdom, and you know though. Hold up. You can't bet our lives that we win. Cause he said he get out.
What up, everybody who talks boxing, comments about boxing, and makes boxing videos. So I was just watching a video by Bloodboxing. Big shout out to him. And he was talking about how mainstream boxing media does not represent the sport. If I remember, I'll throw the link up in the description. But it was a very good piece. He brought up some really good points. And I just want to elaborate on that. Now, if you notice, anytime that these mainstream journalists want to interview anybody, they always interview the same people. It's always the same fighters, the same trainers, and it's like Bloodboxing said, it doesn't matter if they have opposing views or not, they will post the same thing, just giving it from their angle. And the term that he uses, that they're pushing the same machine. Now, what that machine is business. Really. They want to appeal to a very broad audience. And the hardcore fans or fans that are past the casual fan stage or past that tier, it's not really a stage, but they're past that tier, they're not the majority, they're the minority. We are the minority. Boxing channels don't exactly have the biggest subscriber bases. Even the ones that are considered large, you're hard-pressed to find any boxing channel that has over 100,000 subscribers. There's other channels that I watch. I don't really comment too much. I just like getting the information, but channels that are not boxing related. And technology, for instance, is you can find many channels that are over 100,000, 200,000. There's some channels that are well over 1 million subscribers. There's one guy, his name is Marcus Brownlee. He only does videos on tech, mostly about cell phones. He's well over 1 million subscribers, and he's in college. So big shout out to him. Not a boxing channel, but young man with big ambitions, and he's doing it fairly big on YouTube. And I mean, you could pick many other industries. Look at Look at channels that do videos about those industries or about those hobbies, about those interests. And you'll find channels that are well over 100,000, 500,000. There's some that are millions. Look at video games. That's probably, I'm pretty sure that is the biggest industry when it comes to doing YouTube. The biggest YouTuber on the whole site is PewDiePie. Last time I checked, he had like over 43 million subscribers. It's ridiculous. So the only people who are going to make boxing videos really are going to be more past the casual stage. Not always. I've seen casuals make videos, and those channels tend not to last very long. But the ones that are in it for the long haul, it's like I said, even the bigger of the channels really don't have that many subscribers compared to other channels, to other types of channels. So that machine that these mainstream medias for boxing are pushing is business. They want to see how many magazines they can sell, or in today's day and age, how much traffic they can get on their website so that they can generate that revenue from the advertisements that they put on the top, the bottom, pop-ups. They're making money off of that stuff. And they're not going to get as much traffic if they're interviewing people like Floyd Mayweather. You know, if I'm sorry, I think I worded that wrong. If they are interviewing people like George Foreman, they're interviewing people like Lennox Lewis, or especially the old, you know, from older eras like Marvin Hagler. You know, they're not going to get as much traffic interviewing those guys as they were to interview fighters like Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather hasn't been retired that long and was the biggest name in boxing. Still is, pretty much. He's just not active. You know, and his father, just because his father was his trainer and he, you know, the father of Floyd Mayweather. You know, you notice they always interview the same people. They might interview a little bit outside of that, but for the main part, they're going to interview the same people because that's what the casual fan wants to hear about. They don't care what Marvin Hagler thinks. They don't even know who he is. If it's a casual who is, you know, younger than 40, I would say, 35, 40 years old, casual, they don't know who Marvin Hagler is. They don't know, you know, they're just now going to find out who Robert Duran is. And that's because of a movie. So when it comes to the mainstream boxing media, Bloodboxing is absolutely correct. It does not represent the sport. Because the sport isn't just about what's going on now. It's about what's going on, what has gone on in the past and how we got to this point. And this sport has been around for well over 200 years. Documented. Pretty sure it's been around for longer than that, but it's gone over many, many years and centuries of development to get to where we are now. To get to where the boxers are making the kind of money that they are now. To get to the safety precautions that we take now. The early 19th century, they were fighting until like 25 rounds. As time has gone by, the rounds have gone less and less and less. Now we're at 12, which is probably the sweet spot. I don't see us going any less than 12 rounds. The rules on glove sizes and mouth guard, all that stuff has been from over 2 centuries documented, and I'm sure longer than that. So, but mainstream media doesn't care about that. They care about the revenue they're going to get. And a majority of that revenue, majority of that traffic they're going to get is going to be from casuals. That's just the way that it is. They just way outnumber us. So, as more than casual, because I don't like to call myself hardcore, but as more than casual fans, whatever degree of hardcore, whatever degree of fan you consider yourself, we should understand that the mainstream media doesn't represent boxing, and it sure as hell don't represent us. I don't care what where you stand, like who you're a fan of or not, even if you're a diehard Floyd Mayweather fan, mainstream boxing media doesn't really represent you. As much as they love to interview your leader, they still don't represent you. Floyd Mayweather don't know who any of y'all are. To be honest, he really doesn't care unless you're putting money in his pocket. And even at that, he doesn't care to know what your name is. He doesn't care to get to know who you are. He's made it very clear that he's a businessman. All he cares about is living large and making sure his family's taken care of. So, it's all business. That's the machine that is being run by the mainstream media. They're going to continue to do this. But we, the uploaders on YouTube, we have a place in all this. We are the real representation. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you stand when it comes to the sport. We're the real representation because we actually speak our minds for the most part. A lot of people, whether, there's many of them that I greatly disagree with, but one thing I will give them is that they haven't sold out. They haven't been bought out. There's some who have, who all they care about is views. And you know who those channels are. But when it comes to YouTube, it is greatly the beyond casual, the hardcores who are on YouTube. So, that's all I had to say. We are the representation of the sport. That's why I don't like when we talk about poor numbers. Because the casuals who do come across our videos, they see us talking so negatively about the views. And I don't think that's a really good promoter. I think we need to be promoting the sport a little bit better. Doesn't mean that when a fighter is doing some shady activity or they're ducking or something, when we don't say something about it. Because we got to make our voices be heard. But I think a lot of times we hurt the sport when we talk about how low the views are. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a problem with anybody promoting when a fight gets high views. Because if we could keep promoting that, we may get higher and higher views. But anyways, that's a different topic. But anyways, to all my subscribers, anybody who watches my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble upon this video, please feel free to leave a comment. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
My career, I got some people that write me like I wish you died like your mama did.